Good morning. Welcome to Pine Notes. My name is Lisa, and today is Monday, February 27th, and I'm coming to you today with a review of the brand new Mandala yarn by Lion Brand. And at this time, I do want to remind you that I am not affiliated with any yarn stores or companies that I mention in my videos. I purchase these supplies out of my own money. And you also know that Lion Brand has been a favorite yarn of mine from the very beginning. So when this comes out, I had to get it, and I completed my first project with it. This is the dragonfly shawl, and I will show you close-ups at the end of the video. But let's talk about this fabulous yarn. This is hands down the best yarn I have used. And remember, I'm a beginner crocheter. I have been crocheting 2 years now, and it's my most favorite, and I'll tell you why. It's the colorway, it's the weight of the yarn, which is a number 3 fine. Let's find that label, and I'll show you real quick. The color I'm holding is Chimera, and this one is Sphinx, like the pyramid, but boy, when I first saw this colorway right here, I thought dragonfly, so I'm renaming this dragonfly. And of course, over here peeking out in the corner is gnome, another favorite color of mine. So I'm starting with 3, and this is a 3 fine weight. 3 fine weight. The recommended hook size would be your H hook size or a 5mm, and again, I'm going to disagree with this. I happen to prefer a size J. This shawl was hooked using a size J, so depending on your tension, you're going to pick, of course, the hook and gauge that you need. And in fact, I'm going to tell you right now, this is an inline hook. For this particular yarn, I happen to like a clover hook, which is a size J or 6mm as well. As you can see, there's no groove right here, where this one has a very sharp groove in the Susan Bates hook category. So I did size up a hook when using this. This has 590 yards of fun for only $9.99, and it's available at Walmart and on Lion Brand's website. And as you know, I shop Lion Brand's website quite frequently, and that's where I found it before I ever heard it was in Walmart. I've mentioned this before. The colors are outstanding. The names of the colors are outstanding. Just loved reading, even going through all the color selections there. I believe Lion Brand gets color right. One of the reasons I use Lion Brand yarn is because I do love their color selection and colorways. Look at the bright colors here. Lion Brand knows how to do color right. Again, I mentioned it is machine wash and dry. Yay, it's 100% acrylic. I would still, however, and I've been asked this question the most, I would still stick to my Red Heart Unforgettable Boutique for Virus Shawl or Shawl on the Ball. I've made many virus shawls, and I made a little card here for you guys to see the yarn thickness. Right here in blue, we have the Caring Cake, which is a 20% wool rest acrylic blend. Right here we have the Sweet Roll, 100% acrylic. And right here is our mandala directly from this shawl, in fact. And the mandala is my favorite weight of the cakes to use. It is a finer weight. It really shows the details nicely. But when it comes to drape, and drape of the fabric is when it piles nicely on the table. Look at it, just moves softly. This is Red Heart Unforgettable Boutique, my very first virus shawl in the color stained glass. See how soft and drapey this is? The mandala feels like cotton yarn to me, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a little bit harder. I think once it's washed, perhaps it'll soften up a little bit, but I like that hardness of the yarn to get clear, crisp shapes, such as the dragonfly in front of you here. And let me show you shawl on the ball real quick. This is my newest shawl on the ball in Moonstone Metallic, and can you see just the lovely drape and feel of that? It just puddles down. This is what I prefer my shawls to be, and I've made virus shawls out of all of these. I'm pending this one yet. Out of the Premier and the Karen Cake, I've made virus shawls. It's just I prefer a more drapey look and feel, that's all. And I want to show you one more why I prefer the four shawls, why I prefer shawl on the ball. This is my first shawl on the ball. It's fluffy, it's light, and you know I think shawl on the ball is a tricky material to work with. It catches on itself. This does not. If you're doing a virus shawl from the first time, I would start here. Absolutely. But no, you're going to get a nice, stiff, crisp line, crisp shapes, and start here. I would also use a size J hook. The H made my yarn curl, and again I would use the clover instead of the regular inline. To recap there were no knots in this ball. Remember, my biggest complaint about 24/7 cotton yarn is that the quality went downhill in the 2 years that I was using it. There was absolutely no knots in this yarn, but I do want to tell you, however, just like the Karen Cakes, some transitions of color are smooth, some are not. So yes, I didn't like the brown to green or the brown to blue transition, so I cut that at the edge and made my own transition, so it was the same going down the center here. Some color transitions were nice and smooth. It depends. For example, you're looking at this brown, and I'll scoot it down a little bit. I don't mind that. See, that's where the fudge brown and the coffee brown start and stop. I don't mind that. I left that there. But when it has such brown to blue, I'm going to cut the edges. So compared to Karen Cakes with the abrupt color changes, this is a little more smoother in spots. Absolutely love that. Just on your preference, of course, if you don't mind snipping your work and hooking it back in, that's fine. This fabric is stiff, as I mentioned. Again, I'm going to have to wash it to see, but also want to mention, I was checking color fastness here, and I mentioned this on Instagram. If you're not on my Instagram account, you will see me making this shawl and full pictures, so go over to Lisa Pine Notes on Instagram. I'm over there every day. Speaking of hardness, my biggest question was color fastness, and this has been soaking while I've been sitting here, which is about 30 minutes for setup, and talking to you right now, and there's no bleeding. I'm shocked. I was convinced that because this fabric was so hard, it was over-dyed. Not the case. This is soaking nicely. I don't see any color bleeding so far. And of course, watch this space, because I'll tell you when I soak this big one. And no, my dragonfly shawl is not done, because I ran out of yarn right here. Hashtag I love safety pins for stitch markers. I really think the navy border makes this shawl, so of course, wink wink, I had to order another one, but 590 yards makes a wonderful shawl. And yes, I can say with confidence, absolutely love this yarn. Go get and try this. The only other thing I want to mention is, because It's a size 3. And because I ran out of yarn here, sure, in my stock, I could match the color navy easily. Look at that. That's almost a perfect match there. But the size of the yarn is not. So if you run out one row, like I did, you will need to purchase another. So if you're thinking a project and you're not sure on how many cakes of yarn you will need, go up. Because you can't go in your stock and easily or readily find the correct size. This is the mandala here, and this is our normal Super Saver by I Love This Yarn, which would be your size 4 medium weight. I just don't carry size 3 readily in my stock, so I wanted to tell you guys that. Buy more than you need. Of course, this was my first time using it, so I did not know that. And without saying, that means, unlike the Karen cakes, and you know this is my favorite hat to match my Tomato Queen poncho made out of Karen cakes and red velvet, means you can't mix your yarns. You know I love to put fisherman's wool in to break up the color pattern. I have one request to Lion Brand for mandala yarns, and that's to make some solids. Make some solids, some solid blues, so we can mix and match, and I really hope they do because I absolutely love this yarn. And my other request would be, make some emerald green. I love emerald green. So I don't know anybody in Shaw the Ball or Red Heart that makes a complete emerald green. So those are 2 things on my wish list. So I'll leave you there. I absolutely love this yarn. Go try it. As always, I thank you for liking, watching, and subscribing to my channel. Remember to hit that bell next to my name so you'll be alerted to the next episode of Pine Notes by Lisa. Let's make it a great day in crochet, everyone. Take care.